The desert wind whispered tales of forgotten empires as it danced around the opulent palace of King Scheherazade. Within its gilded walls, a shadow of despair stretched long and menacing. The king, once hailed as a beacon of justice, was now consumed by a darkness as black as the moonless night. Betrayal, a serpent coiled around his heart, had poisoned his love for his queen, twisting it into a venomous hatred for all womankind. He had become a monster, marrying a new bride every night, only to have her executed at dawn, a chilling testament to his vengeance. News of the king's cruelty reached the ears of Scheherazade, daughter of the royal vizier. Unlike others who trembled under the king's shadow, defiance ignited within her. She saw a flicker of hope, a chance to break the cycle of bloodshed. But hope often danced with madness. Who dared stand against a king fueled by such rage? Her father, wise and weathered, pleaded with her. "Scheherazade, my precious pearl, do not court death. This path leads only to a crimson stain on the palace floor." Tears welled in his eyes, reflecting the fear that gripped the entire kingdom. But Scheherazade, chin held high, possessed a strength that transcended fear. "Father," her voice, a melody laced with steel, "in silence, the king's darkness will consume us all. I must try. Perhaps, with a story, I can weave a thread of light into this tapestry of despair." The night of her wedding arrived, the air thick with anticipation and dread. Scheherazade, adorned in silks the color of moonlight, entered the king's chamber. But she did not come bearing the trembling obedience of the women who had come before her. Her eyes, pools of liquid courage, met the king's, a storm brewing within them. As the moon cast its silvery glow, she began. Her voice, a silken caress, wove a tale, a captivating saga filled with adventure, romance, and intrigue. The king, a solitary figure on his throne, found himself drawn into the tapestry of her words. He had never encountered such a woman, one whose mind was as sharp as her tongue, and whose imagination could conjure worlds more thrilling than the opulent confines of his palace. But just as the hero of her tale faced a perilous challenge, a cliffhanger dangling like a poisonous spider above a hidden treasure, Scheherazade stopped. A faint smile played on her lips. The first rays of dawn peeked through the palace windows, painting the chamber with a pale light. The king, caught in the web of her narrative, roared, "What treachery is this? You dare leave your story unfinished for the first time in 1,000 nights." He wasn't eager for the dawn. He craved more of the tale, more of the woman who held the power to transport him to fantastical worlds. Scheherazade, with a glint of triumph in her eyes, bowed low. "My king, stories unfold like flowers in the night, with the rising sun revealing new petals. Allow me to finish my tale when darkness descends again." And so began a game of cat and mouse, 1,001 nights of suspense. Each night, Scheherazade would spin a new tale, captivating the king with journeys to lands beyond imagination. She spoke of genies and sorcerers trapped in lamps, of valiant princes battling monstrous demons, and of cunning thieves outsmarting the greed of viziers. Each night, the story would reach a fever pitch just as dawn approached, leaving the king yearning for more. And each night, he would spare her life, his thirst for vengeance held captive by the insatiable hunger for the next chapter. But within the king, a subtle transformation began. The tales, more than mere entertainment, became windows to a world of possibilities. Scheherazade's words, imbued with the wisdom of ages, chipped away at the walls of his hardened heart. He began to see himself reflected in the flawed characters of her stories, his own darkness mirrored in their actions. The nights turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The king, who once reveled in cruelty, became a silent observer within his own court. He watched Scheherazade move through the palace, a beacon of light in his darkened world. He saw not just a storyteller, but a woman of exceptional courage and wit, a weaver of words who had the power to heal the wounds of the past. Finally, after 1,001 nights, Scheherazade finished her last story. The king, transformed by the magic of her words, sat speechless. The darkness that had consumed him had lifted, replaced by a glimmer of hope. Shame flushed his cheeks as he realized the depths of his cruelty. With a trembling voice, he confessed his wrongdoings and sought forgiveness. Scheherazade, tears glistening in her eyes, did not speak of forgiveness immediately. Instead, she turned to the stories that adorned the palace walls, ancient tapestries woven with the threads of forgotten heroes and cautionary tales. Pointing to a depiction of a vengeful king consumed by flames, she spoke. "Your Majesty, stories hold the power to illuminate, but also to consume. Your rage, once a flickering flame, could have devoured this entire city." The king, humbled, nodded in agreement. Scheherazade then gestured towards another tapestry, this one depicting a wise ruler surrounded by his people, but within stories. She continued, her voice filled with hope. "Lies the path towards redemption. Can you be the king who leads his people into the dawn, not the one who seeks solace in the darkness of the past?" The knight remained silent, heavy with the weight of his choices. Finally, Shahryar rose and walked towards Scheherazade. He looked into her eyes, once filled with defiance, now reflecting the dawning light of a new day. "With your help, Scheherazade," he spoke, his voice hoarse with emotion, "I will become the king your stories speak of. Together we will weave a new tapestry for this kingdom, one embroidered with hope, justice, and the power of storytelling." News of the king's change spread like wildfire through the court, then across the land. The people, who had lived in fear for so long, emerged from their shadows, a flicker of trust returning to their eyes. Scheherazade's courage, her cunning use of words, had not merely saved her own life, but had ignited a revolution within the very heart of the kingdom. Their reign together was a testament to the transformative power of stories. Scheherazade continued to weave her tales, no longer filled with suspenseful cliffhangers, but with tales of wisdom, compassion, and the importance of second chances. The king, inspired by her words, built schools where children could learn not just to read, but to write their own stories, to dream their own dreams. The legend of Scheherazade became not just a cautionary tale of a vengeful king, but a testament to the enduring human spirit, the power of words to heal, and the courage it takes to step into the unknown, even when the path ahead is shrouded in darkness. It served as a reminder that even in the face of despair, a single voice, a single story, can spark a revolution, weaving a brighter future from the threads of the past.